So let's meet the two hottest stars of Downton Abbey, Alan Leech and Rob James Collier.
Hello.
Take a seat.
Thank you.
Should we vogue it up?
Milking it, Rob.
Two hottest stars.
The two hottest stars.
Dame Maggie's not going to be happy when she
Nah,
hears
sorry.
that.
Livid.
She is
Sorry.
a freak.
She'll just have to deal with it, frankly.
We've got symmetrical stances. Is that
like
good?
it.
Is that
I've done
good?
all
It's
hands.
good feng shui. Is this
like
a problem for anyone? Just let us know.
They just did a photo shoot backstage, and there was a little bit of frisson between you, I thought, which I said was
There
like
was
the
a
ultimate.
moment.
That's the dream plot line, I think, for many fans. The two of you.
Branson and
Yeah,
Thomas.
totally.
Oh, on a bonnet of an old style
big time.
car.
Yeah, how would you like that?
Has someone give you the script for the Christmas special?
That is exciting. If Julian Fellows has gone down that route, we're excited.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, to start with, I did ask this question last week of your colleagues Joanne and Hugh, but I'm going to ask you two as well because it's got to be asked. When you first were sent the scripts for this show, did you know then? Oh, this is really something special. Or did you just think, oh, this is just another period drama and it sounds fine?
I was like, what is that? That's never going to happen. That's never going to be a six. That is terrible. Julian who? Dame Maggie what?
Yeah.
Go on, you answer, because I'm
No,
not
I joined
ready
it
to be serious yet.
I joined it halfway through, so the guys had already started filming and
Yeah.
everything else. So I never got the first script. I only got
touchy
episode
subject.
4. Yeah.
No,
and but I was still going. But the writing's really good, you know.
Yeah.
And then met him for the first time.
Sorry about
Bad casting, but you know. Yeah.
When I got it, it was Julian Fellows who wrote it. He got the Oscar for Gosford Park. Dave Maggie was in it. Hugh Bonneville, Brendan Coyle. It was a who's who of British actors. So of course I thought, I'd love to be part of it.
Yeah.
Why are they sending it me? There must be some mistake.
Yeah.
But
And did you know kind of pretty much what your character was going to be like? Did you know from those first scripts that you read? Did you have an inkling of how they'd develop as well? Or
did I know he was going to be gay?
Did you know he was going to be gay?
Yeah.
That's the question
Well,
I'm working around.
It'd be nice of him to tell me, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
however many series you're going to be rolling around on the floor with men,
Yeah.
you want to be told that
You
before
do,
you
yeah.
know, just so you can tell the missus.
Absolutely,
To be honest,
yeah.
I did know pretty much that he was gay and he was, I won't say evil, misunderstood.
Yeah.
And he was a little bit bitter towards his fellow man. So I knew all that. Yeah, it was quite in depth, the background.
And did you like the idea of getting into a juicy kind of quite borderline evil character?
Misunderstood.
Misunderstood.
Of course, because the devil's always got better tunes, right? And
Yeah.
it's always good to take your angst out on screen instead of on people on the tube, because you can get arrested that way. You can't get arrested you trip someone up
Yeah.
on the show. You can't get arrested. You do that on the tube. Apparently, it's assault.
We should say that we started slightly late because you got caught, didn't you?
Oh,
on the
blame
shoot?
me.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm just
Blame
explaining.
me. Sorry, guys.
I'm
It
just
wasn't me.
explaining.
It was the driver.
And you
who
had
was
to
late.
run up Oxford
that
Street.
you booked. I had to run up Oxford Street
You
to
had to
be
run.
here.
So Rob has run up Oxford Street.
And I've got a bit of a dab on just to be here.
Yeah.
I didn't even know people were going to be here. I thought it was just going to be a...
Did you see the three of us in a room talking? Or maybe the two of you in a
No,
room
I mean, it's
talking?
great that you are here,
Yeah.
but I didn't know there was going to be
No.
this many people. That's why I'm babbling.
That's fair enough. And Alan, what did you think of your character? And did you know that your character was going to make a kind of more of a journey, if I can use that awful word?
No, but
than
I was
many of the characters?
I was literally hired for 3 episodes, which
Oh, wow.
was 4, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went, well, it's been lovely. Hope
Yeah.
it goes well for you. See you now. And then they called when they got commissioned for the second series and said, we'd like to have you back. And then that was only supposed to be for the second series. And then I got a call saying, we'd like you back for the third.
Because you're so amazing.
Yeah.
I think you had something to do with it, did you, Rob?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I slept with someone. I don't remember why or where, but I know it benefited someone's career at some stage.
No, that was me.
Oh, right.
So you're saying you put in a word for him? You're claiming
No,
your
no.
benefit?
The
in
last
a word.
person... Listen, you've seen what I'm like. The last person you want putting a word in for you is me.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he would never have him back.
Do either of you get involved? Do you speak to Julian, the creator, at all about your characters? And do you say, oh, I'd quite like to do this, or I'd quite like to do that, or does that?
I'm not one of them actors. A lot of actors do, but I think, listen, there's 21 of us on the show. If he's got 21 babies crying at him all the time, he's gonna do his head in. So I leave him to get on with it, and he hopefully reacts to what I do on screen, and I've seen that in his writing. He'll follow what you do and start writing more for the traits you show on screen. So that's the way I prefer to do it.
So what kind of traits of yours has he picked up on, do you think?
Well, I think these are vulnerabilities that we're seeing in Thomas now, particularly in this series.
Yeah.
and we're seeing frailties and an emotional side that perhaps we didn't see there before. So we're seeing the complexity of him, and also I think he's got a little bit of humour to him as well, which he's wrote in a few nice sort of witty barbs. Okay, they're always malicious and evil, and about destroying someone's soul in its entirety, but nevertheless, they're funny.
Yeah. And your character's a bit of a kind of quite a firebrand. He's getting quite political. Is that something you kind of liked portraying?
I like portraying it. I mean, I was wary of it. I'll be honest. When we got the scripts for the series 3, you don't want to become a stereotypical Irish, Republican. And
Sure.
I was a bit afraid of that.
Sure.
But then you have to trust. I mean, Julian Fellows is writing the show. You trust his writing, and you go with it.
Yeah. And of course, Hugh's character is the one who's kind of he's being quite bigoted about you. So
yes. Yeah. So exactly, you're not actually coming across in that way. You're not being bigoted at all.
Yeah.
But it is something that is interesting to play. And I suppose it was a challenge. And I suppose one of the things is you're like, if I can make this easier for myself, maybe you would. But Julian, just as I say, you trust his writing and you just go with it and do the best job you can.
So you're pretty much one of the unique people who's got to kind of you've acted with the people downstairs and now you've gone upstairs.
And had proper scenes with on both sides.
Which do you prefer?
It's very different. I mean,
Careful what you say.
Yeah. But it is a very different vibe. Up in Highclere, I think the time constraints and pressure of actually filming in that place make it a very different environment as well.
Right.
And also you tend not to have that there's a legend in the room a lot of the times. Not saying you're not a legend, but
Dame Maggie Smith.
Dame Maggie Smith.
ISIS.
Oh, ISIS the dog.
Oh, Hugh Bonneville was going on about how much he hated the dog last week.
Oh, listen, stop. Yeah.
Which made the papers and everything. How do you two feel about the dog?
I love dogs.
Cool.
And I love ISIS.
Okay, good. Yeah.
But that dog was pretty difficult. I was in a lot of those scenes with him.
You've got a lot of dog scenes.
Yeah, a lot of dog scenes.
What is it? Can you put your finger on the reasons why it's gone from a hit to being an absolute global phenomenon?
I think it comes down to, personally for me, not for me, Rob, it comes down to Julian's ability to give you what has happened to Rob's character. You start with one view of him, and then what he does is he completely changes that over the course of be it a series or 2 series or 3, and I think it's his ability as a writer, and personally that's what I think is really interesting.
Rob, why is it so? Why is it an absolute unique phenomenon among all the period dramas and everything?
I just think in England it's got something for everyone. There's 21 and they've all got such an extensive CV. Someone will have seen them in something else, so there's that crossover. Also, Julian's writing, obviously. Dame Maggie Smith's a massive draw. And they scheduled it beautifully, a masterclass right after the X Factor. No, it's true, because you had a crossover from people who would watch the X Factor who would not normally watch period drama, but they give it that first 10 minutes a shot, and then so we've had a crossover from there. In terms of worldwide, America, they're fascinated because it's a relatively young country. They're fascinated with our heritage and our history, and the glamour and the opulence upstairs. They've got America's kind of got a real romantic ideal of England, and that's what Downton shows them on screen. They think we still live like that. So and if there's one thing this country does better than any in terms of drama in the world is a period drama. This is our speciality, and I think that's why and it stems back to our colonial days. England's had a foothold, rightly or wrongly, in pretty much 90% of the world. So it's in all the world's conscious anyway, our country. So this is dealing with our history. So maybe that's what's made it such a success. That almost sounded intelligent.
That was very intelligent. From that highbrow.
They don't like it when I get highbrow.
I'm going low now.
Go back to being a clown. No.
Yeah.
I don't like it when you say big words.
Before I throw them to you guys, so be thinking of your questions, and when I do throw them, wait for the mic and everything, all of that, let's go lowbrow. Would you do, you had to do topless scenes and love scenes and, all that stuff. How do you enjoy that kind of stuff? Is it embarrassing?
Love scenes are only a nightmare.
When
the actor in the scene when they get pregnant, because you've got maintenance issues. You've got a child that you didn't want. But you've got a commitment. I'm a responsible guy. I've made a commitment, right? So I've got a child that I've got to bring up now.
Alan, and you become sex symbols, though, both of you, aren't you? You are.
Come on.
You are.
You are.
This audience,
you
aren't
are.
they? They are sex symbols.
I would I would totally shag Alan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone would.
He's so sexy.
Right.
Anyone would. Has it like changed your life in that way? Then are you aware of that? element?
Are we getting more sex?
Yeah. Have you got people throwing themselves at you?
What do you want us to say to that? Yes, I am aware of that.
I
As a
love
matter
it.
of fact, I got on the tube the other day and
Yeah.
everyone was staring at me because I'm such a sexy.
Yeah. Embrace
What
it.
do you, no,
Embrace
we're
it.
actors, and
Yeah.
we have a laugh now because we don't want to be dullard actors, and we want you to enjoy yourselves.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, all that matters is the scene. So you do whatever for the scene. Anything else that comes as a byproduct of the show,
Like a
ignore
baby.
it. The hype around the show, it's about the show. No
Yeah.
one's bigger than the show. No one's
Yeah.
stronger than the show. So don't get involved in the hype. Just focus on your job as an actor and get on with life. That is the succinct answer.
Very good. You can now ask them pretty much anything you want. If you
Bring it
want.
up.
There's a lady here in the middle in the front row. The mic
comes
is
the
coming
mic.
along now.
Looking scared.
Yeah.
It is now, yeah.
Hi. First of all, thank you. You're a huge fan of the show, and it's been amazing so far.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Not a highbrow question at all. Since today's Halloween, if they had a Halloween party at Downton, what would Branson and Thomas dress up as?
Wow, that is a good question.
Good question. I would dress up as Dame Maggie Smith in the show. Thomas, it's just any excuse to get his legs out. I've not shaved them for nothing. These babies are getting shown. Alan? Again, I'm not drinking. Hey, that got a clap.
Could I go for as Maggie's character's walking stick? So,
I get to... Yeah.
what part of me?
Yeah.
I'll reveal later. Yeah.
That's a surreal answer. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
So I hope that's answered your question. Next question.
Yeah, very good question. We'll go two along. I'll try and spread
It's
it
like
around.
question time.
Yeah?
This is for Alan. I know that you. I know that you originally were going to be a Yorkshire.
Yorkshireman.
And I wondered whether you could do a rendition of what Branson would be like as a Yorkshire chauffeur.
And he is brilliant at accents as well.
No, I can't believe you said that. I can't even remember. I'm not beside him. I can't sit beside him.
Well, why don't you do the Yorkshire if it's not going well?
Why can't I do my
into
version
the
of
Dan
Rob?
Stevens.
Can I do Rob?
What about if you don't do Yorkshire? Do you not want to do Yorkshire?
No.
What about
You
if
did
he
it for
does-
the audition. Come on.
Yeah.
I didn't because I walked in and they immediately said, "No, let's make him Irish."
Do
you.
Julian into Dan Stevens into me. This is superb. well, it better have me.
No, I'm not doing that.
Go on.
I do a little bit of Julian. But the whole idea is, Al, at the end of the day, Branson has to end up there.
That's better than any Yorkshire.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm breaking this chair.
Anyone over here?
Hi. It might have already been answered, but we thought that you guys were the bromance of Downton, but now Tom's like in fields with Matthew and wearing his clothes. So
Yeah.
who's it going to be?
Not at the same time. Like, yeah,
Who's
you have
it
the
going
left
to
leg.
be? You need to decide.
Bromance.
Yes.
Well, so
It's not a serious question at
No,
all.
it's not.
No.
That's fine.
it's a good question. On screen, bromance has to be Matthew and Tom, but off screen, it has to be you and me.
Oh.
I feel like that was an answer on like "Take Me Out" or something. No likey. No likey.
You are so. You are so beautiful.
Thank you. for that. Lady standing up there.
This is a question for Rob.
Finally.
I agree with you. Thomas and his magnificent heaving bosom are horribly misunderstood.
Are you saying I've got moobs?
Not at all.
Oh, it's
There's
on
a-
now.
There's a whole following on Twitter talking about your marvellous chest.
Really?
So I
See?
actually...
What's marvellous about it? They've not seen it in the show, have they?
No, we haven't, but you wear a T-shirt very well.
You see, you know what the trick there is? Tighter T-shirts. Get a child size, and it makes you look like makes you look bigger. Sorry, what was the question? Or was the question?
I'm sorry, you distracted me.
Sorry, my fault.
My question was, I think we mostly see Thomas's weaknesses at the moment. Is that a fair representation? Do you see him as being a particularly weak person?
Well, I don't think weak. How? What you mean? The way he falls for guys and gets his heart broken?
No. I was thinking if you go back to, for example, what he did during the war and his experience with, trying to sell dubious food and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It feels as if we never see him doing anything positive and really achieving anything.
Well, it's an interesting question. My thing, first of all, is why is he like that? And I think to be gay in Edwardian times, when not only was it against God, well, it still is with some religions now, isn't it? But anyway, which I don't condone. Not only was it against God, but it was illegal, and you would get locked up, and it would be the end of your career because you would never work again, so you'd essentially starve. He has this weight on his shoulders. He's not ashamed of who he is, yet he can't tell anyone who he is because, as he said, I think in the last step, no one dares speak out. So he's got this tremendous burden on his shoulders. So if the guy's a bit sort of bitter and paranoid and twisted, it's because of this huge cross he's got to bear that he can never tell anyone for fear of being found out. He can't find anyone to be complicit with and trust. So that's my part of sticking up for him for why he might be how he is. And maybe going into the black market was a means of becoming self-employed, so he didn't have to rely on a reference. He could finance himself and then finally be himself, if you know what I mean. Because if he got outed, it wouldn't matter because he'd have his own income, if you know what I mean. That was my theory. With the war stuff, where they called it getting a blighty, and he got his hand shot. Now, my first reaction when I read that was that it was the act of a coward. But our historical advisor, Alistair Bruce, was Yoda. He was a Yoda, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Jesus. He was a Falklands veteran, and I won't go into what he said to me, but he very kindly took me, Dan, and Thomas Howells, who were all in the trenches in the Second War, and he gave us the benefit of his on-the-ground experience, and we're talking hand-to-hand combat. And it was an amazing conversation I'll never forget, and the hairs were stood up on the back of my neck. And he said it isn't the act of a coward. And he changed my thinking on it to knowingly put your hand up and know it's going to get literally blown to smithereens. It is one of the bravest things you can do, and is a marker down for the horrors that they'd experienced in the Somme. Let's not forget, Thomas had been there for 2 years already, and I wouldn't blame anyone for putting their hand up and getting out of that because, I mean, it was relentless. The research I've done, it was the horrors. You wouldn't blame any man for doing it on the first day. So 2 years' time to hold your hand up is extremely brave, I think, to last that long.
Sorry, I'm really glad you said that, especially with Remembrance Day coming up. I know it's a strange thing to say, but I think we forget, unless we read things like Private Peaceful or what have you, we forget what an extraordinary, difficult thing it was. And I actually saw that as an act of bravery on Thomas's part as well. So,
well, that was me speaking to a veteran, and Alistair Bruce very kindly let me into his world when he didn't have to, and it's a painful world for him. But it changed my complete understanding of it, and hopefully maybe yours, everyone today as well.
Thank you.
Good question.
Thank you very much. Gentleman there right at the back of... Oh, this is a test for the mic. The man standing out right at the back.
She's off again, relay runner.
With the
where is
hood.
she?
She's doing well.
On the way. There we
she's
go.
there.
Well done.
Hi there. I have a question for Rob, one for Alan, and one for both.
Oh, okay. So
That's
3 questions.
That's 3 questions.
Oh, steady. Easy.
I'll be very quick.
A little bit cheeky, but go on.
Cheeky,
I'll be very quick, don't
I think
worry.
he's going to do a reading.
And you got notes as well. Wow,
I
carry
got some
on.
notes as well, yeah, very well. Rob, I mean, you've got a really interesting background. You've got 2 degrees in business and marketing.
Yeah.
And you went on doing modeling and acting.
Yeah.
How did that happen? I mean, what brought you in this direction? And Alan, I want to ask you. Yeah, I'll just ask all 3, so I'll just go quickly to
Do you
someone
want us
else
to answer at the
afterwards.
same time as well? Sorry, go on.
Should I just...
Yeah, that's fine.
go, let's go.
Yeah, Rob will remember his bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Alan.
you remember that?
Yeah,
I
let's
just-
go.
Yeah.
3 quick questions.
Sorry, where am I?
Alan, you're coming from you were born in Ireland, you studied in Ireland.
Yeah.
How was it to come and act in such a British atmospherely series such as Downton Abbey? And for both of you, you're both in your 30s, and this series,
All right, don't go mentioning that.
which is true,
You're over the hill.
Mel.
Well, I know
This
who my
is-
favourite was.
Downton Abbey is already a huge series. But how would you think about your upcoming career afterwards?
Well,
Okay.
the answer to the last one, quickly, I don't. I take every job as it comes. I don't think too far into the future because I got into this in an ad hoc way, as you rightly said. I've got a business studies degree and a marketing master's. Not just a degree, it's a master's. So BA Honours MSc, just saying. Never used it.
Good to
Best
know.
£5,000 I'd never spent. Because I got into it in an ad hoc way, I don't look at the next job. I just believe in you're only as good as your last job. Just concentrate on that. Do as good a job as you can, and hopefully that work, in theory, should lead to more work. Alan?
I agree completely with that. So do you want to answer your next one?
Oh, and the other one, how did I get... Yeah, I was working in an office as a marketing assistant after doing my marketing masters. And I hated it. And Ricky Gervais's The Office was on at the time, and I was like, oh my God, that is my office. I was listening to Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. Great album to listen to, bad one to listen to if you're in a rut. I hated where I was, so it was either two options: go find something different, or commit suicide. I chose to find something different and somewhere to express myself, and it was complete serendipity. It was acting. Once I went to the first acting class, I felt like I'd come home. I know it sounds cheesy, but I felt like I'd found something that I was good at and a place where I sort of belonged. Alan?
Yeah, being Irish in the show is kind of important, given that the character's Irish, and doesn't make it doesn't make it difficult to play. It kind of adds to it. So coming over here and being out of your comfort zone is good for Downton. I obviously was over here beforehand doing other things, but for that, yeah, it was
also
good.
Half the cast are Irish. I mean, my mum's Irish. Siobhan Finneran's
Irish.
Sophie McShearer's Irish. So she's just
Michelle
Dockery is just his extended family, really.
Yeah.
The Irish get everywhere. Well, you can't stop us. Like Apple Mac, we're around the world.
Nice.
Apple Mac, very good. Thank you for your 3 questions.
Yeah.
There's a lady at the front. Let's go back to the front.
Hi, and thank you for being here. My question is there a trait in your characters that you feel is underappreciated by the viewers, you'd like maybe noticed more or talked about more in the show?
Good question.
Good question.
I think sometimes Branson's passion for what he does can be misconstrued as something more sinister in relation to what he believes in. And the levels, especially at this time in Ireland, the Troubles and what was happening, I think that people kind of forget how big that was and how an important a struggle that was for the Irish people. And people then tend to kind of, I think, kind of get annoyed with Branson given the fact that he's so passionate about it. But given that they're even outside of it, you know, living in this beautiful house with a load of servants, and suddenly, you know, they have this guy coming in and basically telling them that that's not exactly how the world works. And I think it's kind of important that he has that passion, and sometimes I think people can get a bit annoyed about that.
And Thomas he has a passion for he loves unicorns, right? And I told you I'd get unicorns in.
You did.
He loves them, right? And there was a beautiful scene that we shot where he met a unicorn in an enchanted wood, and it was a magical moment because they're magical creatures, right? And they cut it. So, and he does these a great scene where I do paintings of unicorns,
but it wasn't
all
one.
over his.
It wasn't one unicorn. It was a brace of unicorns.
It was a brace of unicorns, and he paints them, and they're all over his bedroom. But they cut it out of the show, so you see him on the odd wall, but the camera doesn't. It doesn't hang on them, so people don't realise that this guy's got a genuine love.
You told me that was going to be in the Christmas special.
We're not supposed to. We don't.
Sorry.
That's not been released.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
So his love for unicorns, and he's
unicorns.
a wicked skateboarder.
Yeah, and one more question. Who should I? Oh, there's a gentleman there. I'm going for the bald gentleman. No favouritism.
He might just have a skinhead.
Well, you know, as a bald man, I can safely say that is a bald gentleman.
Which I'm sure he's loving right now, by the way.
Thank you. Happy to be referred to as the bald gentleman on the international podcast.
Sorry. I wouldn't mind.
How's your personal life changed now being on a hit series? You went from doing plays and other TV shows and bit parts. Now you got these great roles. Your role went from 2 episodes to pivotal character in the show. What's it like for your personal life? Walking down the street, everything, your career, all of the above.
Yeah, I think obviously a show like this, you have a lot more interest. You know, people just even sending in scripts just because you're better known, I suppose. Personally, walking down the street it's when the episode's on, I find that it's only on the Monday. Maybe people will pass you and go, "Hey." Well, that's it, you know.
So anyway, it has changed our lives, is the bottom line, hasn't it?
No.
Yes, no.
Okay. In terms of opportunity, I've been to South Africa to promote the show and dove with great white sharks. I've been to the state opening of Parliament. We went to the opening. Sorry, touch subject. He was working, so he couldn't go. We were allowed to go to the opening of the Olympics.
I wasn't again. I was working. Thanks, Rob. This is brilliant.
Oh. These amazing events that you wouldn't normally get. I mean, so in terms of opportunity, it's changed. They were amazing. They were amazing. But they would have been better with you, though.
Stop.
So, yeah, but in terms of... I'm not living in a massive... Can I just get... Because everyone thinks if you're on TV, you're a millionaire. We're not. I'm living in a semi-detached. Nice semi-detached, don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing my house. But nothing's changed. I don't live in a palace. We don't fly first class. We fly economy.
Wow.
But in terms of opportunity, then, it's opened up a different ballpark.
we've got to wrap it up now. I just want to quickly ask: Have you been signed up for another series? Is there going to be another series? Do we know about that?
I'd love to do one if it was going.
If they want, we don't know if it's been recommissioned or not.
It's the biggest show on TV. It's got to be, isn't it?
Well,
Stranger things have happened.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
but we don't want to give it the kiss step. But if they wanted me, I would love to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
I'd love to too if I had more scenes with him and a unicorn.
We all want that. We all want that.
Yeah.
Just to say, it's the last episode on Sunday.
Yeah.
Final episode of the series, Christmas special. Bound to be on Christmas Day, I reckon. And the DVD of this series is out on Monday as well, I believe,
Yeah,
to mention that.
yes.
I just want to say thanks to you two.
Thank
you
you.
have been by far the most entertaining people ever on the stage. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheers,
Alan
guys.
Leech and Rob James Collier.
Thank you.
Thank you
very much.